For our Ag Weekly segment, we're talking about hunting season.
Emily Griffin tells us what's already begun and what's to come.
Calling all hunters, the time has come to bust out the camouflage. Some seasons have already begun, like squirrel hunting or regular season black bear hunting within the yellow region. If you're hunting bears in the brown region, bow hunting has already started and crossbow starts October 11th. Muzzleloading October 14th and regular season for that region begins October 21st. This weekend is for youth waterfowl hunting and ruffed grouse season begins today. Just be careful not to nab a spruce grouse, which is a state endangered species and is illegal to hunt. Duck season opens October 7th, and you can go after pheasants October 1st. Rabbit, hare, turkey, and coyote seasons begin October 1st as well for our northern zone. Other fur bearers like bobcats, raccoons, and fox will be in season October 25th. And as for deer hunting, ever popular in our area, early bow hunting starts next Wednesday. Crossbows can be used October 11th through 20th, and then regular season is October 21st through December 3rd. Happy hunting! Be sure to use safe and legal practices outlined by the state DEC. Emily Griffin, 7 News.